Hey guys, and welcome back to That LP Show. The name of the game is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for the Super NES. Unlike with previous levels in the game, defeating Ganon's tower doesn't refill your hearts and magic. So we're going to make a quick detour before taking on Ganon. We're going to head to the witch's shop, and we're going to use the trick where we freeze an enemy and smack it with a hammer in order to refill our magic. Hopefully it works the first time this time around. Yes, success. Alright, and now to refill our hearts, we're just going to go in and talk to the witch's assistant. There we go, and that's all filled up. Now, if you're running low on bombs or arrows, well, specifically arrows, because we are going to need arrows in order to defeat the final boss. We can get them here easily enough. There's several other places, but I find this one to be the easiest, especially if you're really low on arrows. And yeah, if you're really low on arrows, because in here we can actually exit this room and then go back in and they'll respawn. But we really only needed one of each. I just wanted to show it off just in case you were low on them. Anyway, now we can head back to Link's house. That's the closest way to get back to the Dark World, or at least to the Pyramid of Power. We'll just use the portal at the front gate of Hyrule Castle. Let's try to avoid getting hit by all of those guards. There we go. It's ideal to reach the final boss with full health. In fact, sometimes I can defeat this guy without taking a single hit. I'm gonna try to attempt this right now. I mean, if I don't, then oh well. Anyway, as soon as we jump down, rush forward and swipe with your sword for a free hit. I never imagined a boy like you could give me so much trouble. It's unbelievable that you defeated my alter ego Ganon, the Dark Wizard, twice. But I will never give you the Triforce. I will destroy you and make my wish to conquer both light and dark worlds come true without delay. And immediately start smacking him with your sword, and after you score enough hits, make sure to dodge his trident as it's twirling around, and as soon as you hit him enough times, he starts twirling these fireballs around, which will eventually turn into fire bats. Go ahead and use the Cane of Burna or the Magic Cape in order to avoid getting damaged by that as you continue to attack him. There you go, and if you're quick enough, he should only do this one time, and then he'll switch to his next phase, in which he just stomps on the ground and tries to shoot one flaming bat at you. However, you can actually cancel that attack out if you hit him quick enough after he finishes teleporting. Other than that, each time he stomps on the ground, he breaks off another side of the platform, and you can fall down, and if you fall down, you will have to do the battle all over again. Anyway, now he's moved on to his next phase. He turns out the torches. You just relight them to make him tangible again, and then as you attack him with your sword, he will freeze, and then you can attack him with the silver arrows, which are required to they're required to do any damage to him at all, actually. You need them to beat him. Anyway, one more hit ought to do, and that is it. Ganon is done. He is fried pork. He is baked ham. He is some other form of cooking a pig. And if you want to, you can jump off the platform from this point, and we can fight him again. I don't know why you would want to, though. We're done. We've beaten the game. Welcome, Link. I am the essence of the Triforce. The Triforce will grant the wishes in the heart and mind of the person who touches it. If a person with a good heart touches it, it will make his good wishes come true. If an evil-hearted person touches it, it grants his evil wishes. The stronger the wish, the more powerful the Triforce's expression of that wish. Ganon's wish was to conquer the world. That wish changed the Golden Land to the Dark World. Ganon was building up his power here so he could conquer the light world and make his wish come completely true. But now, you have totally destroyed Ganon. His dark world will vanish. The Triforce is waiting for a new owner. Its golden power is in your hands. Now, touch it with a wish in your heart. And he wishes for the world's softest pair of girls' panties. The end. And he wishes for all this other stuff too. He Dragon Balls the king back to life. And we get a shameless reference to Lord of the Rings. And he and Zelda are accompanied by the 6 maidens, which are somehow going to end up having descendants which aren't human. Okay, now here's something interesting. The Loyal Sage. From what I heard, the 7 sages were renamed the 7 wise men for the US localization of A Link to the Past because they considered sage to be a religious reference and didn't want to have religious references in their game, but they went ahead and called that guy a sage anyway. And I honestly don't think they were confusing him with any kind of plant, so there's no excuse. And of course we have the Desert Thief there, who I think is, probably a reference to the Gerudo. Aw, he made a friend, but he's still chasing him around with an angry face. Yay, he's alive! Okay, Uncle, I'm gonna ask you this one time. Zelda's my what? We're never gonna find out, are we? Flippers for sale! And they only cost an arm and a leg, and all you have to do is make it all the way up to Zora's Waterfall without the River Zoras ripping off your arms and legs. Yeah, what are these two up to? Someone's learning how to cook. They're a regular Heisenberg and Jesse. Oh, look at the shit-eating grin on these dorks. They look way too happy to be doing that. What are they looking at? Can they see the cameraman? Can they see me? Hey, he's reunited with his old man. I still don't understand how you managed to get stuck into the Dark World. There was no portal anywhere in that forest. Well, if this one's the queen, what are the other two? I'm going to assume that they just kind of pulled that out of their asses. I'm thinking of them more of like the Great Fairies from Ocarina of Time. I don't care how hard you pound on that bread, it will still not be as good as Subway's jalapeno and cheese bread. Oh, did I show off what happens when you catch that kid that runs really fast away from you? It's nothing. If you have the Pegasus shoes, you can chase after him, and if you catch him, he just says you must have been really fast to catch Zelda because he believes the propaganda. Oh, and he feels better. Oh, and he does have parents. Yet there's still only one bed in the entire house. Well, that's not a very nice thing to call him. He can't help being senile. That's why he's lost up here. He can't remember where the hell he is. He's probably gonna die up here. Not of old age, then of starvation. Guess that's why they call it Death Mountain. Yeah, he looks like he'll die happy, though. Okay, was this guy really important enough to the story to highlight him in the epilogue? He was only standing in the general vicinity of a piece of heart that we found in that little cave. And with the evil vanquished from the world, Link returns the Blade of Evil's Bane to its pedestal to never be pulled out again. Or until an eccentric weirdo starts turning people into paintings. Well, at least Fi didn't pop out of it this time. What a relief. And that was The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I hope you enjoyed watching this Let's Play as much as I enjoyed making it. I actually have a lot of good memories of this game. It's actually the very first game in the Zelda series that I played to completion. I did play Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 before ever touching this game, but at the age that I was when they came out, I couldn't really wrap my head around the original, and Zelda 2 is just so ball-bustingly hard, it was discouraging to me. I've since beaten both of those games, and I've actually grown quite good at them, and fond of them, in fact, but looking back on it, I wasn't really missing much. A Link to the Past blows both of them out of the water. It improved almost everything. Actually, it did improve everything. It increased the immersiveness of the world, the complexity of the puzzles, and thanks to Link's increased mobility in this game, the combat felt way more action-packed and satisfying. A Link to the Past took the best elements of both Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 and gracefully refined them. And for many, many years to come, this game ended up being a template for what a good Zelda game is. Even for the things carried on into 3D, multi-tiered dungeons, certain items, certain magical spells, the way that the story progressed, with Link having to go through 3 prerequisite dungeons to earn 3 MacGuffins in order to get the Master Sword, and then moving on with the meat and potatoes of the dungeons shortly thereafter. And how appropriate that we move on to the subject of music as soon as the sound composer Koji Kondo has his name popping up on the screen. Also kind of amusing how as soon as his name pops up on the screen, the Legend of Zelda theme kicks into gear. Seriously though, most of the tracks in this game were so good that they ended up being reworked and remixed and reused in several future titles in the series. In fact, it's my personal opinion that the only time Koji Kondo has outdone himself with any game in this series is Ocarina of Time, if anything because Shigeru Miyamoto made music a core mechanic of Ocarina of Time. But yeah, it can't be argued that A Link to the Past influenced pretty much the entire series from that point forward. Anyway, coming up in this credit sequence, we actually have a count of how many tries we had through each dungeon. In the Game Boy Advance version, it only counts the times you died, not counting the times you used a fairy. It only counts the times where you actually saw a game over screen. In this one, however, it counts the times you actually save and quit. You're gonna see nothing but zeros here because I'm playing on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I saved using restore points. Yeah, it's an emulator, but I still don't condone illegal emulators. The Wii U emulator is legit. It's legal. I paid for the right to play this game. No pirating. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. I highly recommend that any gamer, any Zelda fan especially, play this game if you haven't. Go find an old copy for the Super Nintendo, go find a copy of the Game Boy Advance version, or you can download it for like $5 or $8 on the Wii Virtual Console or the Wii U Virtual Console, and hopefully someday, if you like gaming on the go, perhaps the 3DS Virtual Console. Anyway, I think after finishing this, I'm going to dedicate most of my time to completing the Deus Ex Let's Play before moving on to anything else. Because the longer I stretch out a particular Let's Play, the longer it's going to take to get to Let's Plays of other games. So, might as well hurry up and finish it and move on. So, until then, I will see you all next time, and until next time, thank you for watching That LP Show, and have a one that is good.